So it comes about because I think it's my responsibility to fix the problem socially and to meet the other person 100% where they're at, because that with that first message, the problem is with me. So what that leads to is constant suppression. I feel like talking. I've got all of these ideas I want to share, but it's not appropriate, so I'm constantly going to hold it in because it's my job to behave. It's my job to hold it in. Another word for that is masking. It's transforming who I am into something that other people will accept as socially appropriate. So that's very different to being my authentic self. I can be a socially appropriate version of my authentic self, but if I'm constantly suppressing a key part of my personality, that's not being authentically myself.
In Greek, daimos means spirit, soul, courage, breath, mind, emotions. Daimia means mind, soul, emotions. The mind or heart as the seat of strong feelings or passion.
There's only one sorrow, the sorrow of not being a saint. But the context of that statement is the sorrow is that people miss the mark, that they're not whole. Holiness is wholeness, that you don't become the person you were meant to be. That you go through your life, you're born, you go through your life, and you die, and you never become the person that you were meant to be. That of all the people who have ever lived, you're the only one like you. The poet says, what I do is me, for that I came. That I came. I came into this world to be me. Self-value, some sense of worth and self-value. And I'm telling you, in my opinion, this is the crisis of our day. It's a crisis of self-value. It is people who do not love themselves. We, the people, do not love ourselves. We have this lost self in there. We don't know who we are. Those are the issues that I'm talking about as the crisis. Because we can look at our superficial life, and we've got a car, and we've got a house, and we've got enough money, and even at our comforts, even at our activities, our active life, and all of that can still gloss over a lot of hopelessness in a person, a lot of loss of self in a person. It's the crisis of the lost self. In the beginning of life, the private self and the public self are the same. A child's not putting on an act. A child's not pretending. A child's not adapting to survive. And that very early on, for many of us, I'm going to say for most of us, at least to some degree, and some to a greater degree than others, pretty soon this public self, this conforming self, this self that wants to stay in the group and is afraid of abandonment or rejection, this conforming self, this false self, this act begins to take over. So that by the time we reach puberty, many of us are more an act, a performance. We're more human doings than we are human beings. We're more an external self or a mask or a persona or a script than we are ourselves. And then the tragedy is that many people go to their death that way.
Athymia means a name formerly given to absence of feeling or emotion, as seen in depression or the dysthymic disorder. In Rebecca's journals, which were written 100 years ago, she referred to experiencing a state of athymia, which sounded as if she were depressed. Apathy means emotional indifference or unresponsiveness, or it can also mean a congenital lack at birth of the thymus gland, which is an organ situated in the center of the upper chest, just behind the breastbone, that assists the immune system. And we usually point here when we say me, heart chakra. And recently